Inspired and tired, that's the gist of our podcast. Inspired, but we're tired. Should we create or should we take a nap?
Create.
Nap. We should definitely nap.
Chase, we're doing the show.
That's right. Of course we're doing the show. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah. Inspired and Tired with your hosts, Chase and London.
Hey everyone, I'm London and I'm here with Chase and we are kicking off another episode of Inspired and Tired.
Your weekly podcast where we talk about how to be creative and unblock that inspiration that feels blocked inside of you.
And before we get going, Chase is officially in her Hannah Montana phase right now.
I'm in my Hannah Montana era, which has always been a goal of mine to sound just like her. So we're just going with that.
She's been in Denver performing so much stand-up that her voice has just escaped her body. But we are
called,
not stopping this podcast.
It was uncomfortable for the audience, I'm
sure.
I
bet.
I had to call it out a few times and just say, I'm aware that I sound like this.
And we have an amazing guest today, Josh Potter.
Oh, my God. I mean, can we believe we have Josh back?
Is that a Hannah Montana impression?
No.
Oh, it's
everything's a Hannah Montana impression today with that voice.
Yeah. Josh, first, thank you so much for being here with us.
You're welcome.
You are our creative guru. When we look up creativity in the dictionary, it's your face, baby.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I hope not.
Before we start, can you plug anything for us?
Oh, sure. I'm going to be all over the road. You can find me on Instagram at Josh_Potter. Twitter is at J_Potter. And then,
Get
that's
your
where all the
tickets to
dates
Portland. This will be out before Portland.
This comes out this week?
On
this
Thursday.
week?
Oh, okay, yeah. So Portland, I'll be there on Saturday night, and then I'll be at Skankfest the following week. And you can find me in Seattle, San Francisco, a couple other ones. There's a few. I added a whole bunch.
I'll be with Josh in Seattle.
That's right. That's on October 29th.
Yeah.
You guys really get around.
I mean, we try. God willing. I mean, I'll tell you, this summer I've been doing a lot of not getting around anywhere, and we're excited to get it back. And Chase lost her voice.
Have you ever lost your voice? And
I
had
did.
To perform through that?
I brought up Skankfest last year. I lost my voice at Skankfest, and then it took something about Vegas with the dry air or something.
That's what they said about Denver. The air, the altitude.
I always end up leaving Vegas, or I have lost my voice after Denver too. But it's usually when I get home, and then it's like a week where I'll be like, I sound like Robert Kennedy Jr. or something,
Yes.
For a comedian, losing your voice is
well, at a podcaster too.
And podcasting.
I was like, I don't even remember. I think I just suffered through it, or I mean, it's gonna be tougher now because you're doing. I feel bad if you're gonna do mine too.
Oh no, I've been talking like this all week. I think I sound cool. And
it is.
I wish I sounded like this year round.
Huh.
Did you find it difficult to perform though?
Oh yes.
Because you have different. Because I do this. I mean, in your jokes you have different inflections.
Yeah.
I speak kind of more soft in a lot of capacities, so it's it was difficult having those things get across when I had no voice.
Yeah, and I also sing in my act.
Oh no.
That's right.
And I was doing.
When I have to change up the songs.
Singing, and my voice wasn't even reaching. You couldn't. Nothing was coming out.
Well, you're more Melissa Etheridge now, or something. You have to sing a little "I'm a bitch, I'm a mother." You got something like that.
More Miley Cyrus. Let's go back.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Stick with Miley Cyrus here on this one.
Yeah,
we got.
I was thinking Lilith Fair,
Okay.
But Miley Cyrus, what's I guess she sings.
That's the climb. Oh yeah.
Is that you, Miley?
What?
Sound just like her.
Oh, she got confused if Miley was here. Yeah, Miley sings Flowers. Miley's coming back. Okay, well, Josh, last time you were here, London and I had been working our way through the Artist's Way, which is
early. You were on early with the Artist's Way.
I was in the prologue.
Yeah. And we were making our way through week by week and doing all the exercises and learning tools on how to live a creative life. We finished The Artist's Way.
Oh, you got all the tools now.
We got all the tools.
But we still need more.
And we're now have moved on to Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, you pointed to me like I read it.
Well, would you like to explain to the audience what Eat, Pray, Love is?
Eat, Pray, Love, from what I understand, was a woman whose husband was a dastardly man, and he went about his way, left her, and she said, you know what? I'm not going to let the world get me down. I'm going to go eat and pray and love things.
That's close.
Not bad.
She left him.
Oh.
Everything else was very close. Very
I just
close.
assumed that he was the asshole in the situation.
Where would your Eat, Pray, Love be?
I have to put them all in one place?
One country to eat, one country to pray, one country to
we
love.
love this question.
Ooh, I love this. Now, what's praying entail? Exactly?
Spirituality.
Yeah,
Where would you go
meditation,
to
relaxation?
to go within yourself?
Because I'm trying to find another layer. For me, the spirituality would be like Amsterdam.
Interesting. No one's ever answered
No.
that
I'd
way.
find spirituality in places.
At the red light district.
No. Not there. I mean, that's where love
The
happens.
green light district.
You do it all in one city.
Yeah, you got love. You got a whole street for love.
Yep.
The spirituality I'll find in the mushrooms I'll purchase along the way, and then eating. I'm sure the Dutch have something.
I don't know.
Sandwiches or cheese or something.
Yeah, they got something.
They have
over there.
like
Yeah.
sausages.
I don't really
Yeah.
care about the eating part.
Right.
Can I just do prayer and love?
Sure.
In Amsterdam.
Can I shove something else in there? What if
Yeah.
smoke, pray, love?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the boy version. I love that.
That's boy dinner.
So anyways, this book has 6 parts. Oh, Eat, Pray, Love is not this book. She just wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Elizabeth Gilbert is a very affluent writer, has a lot to say on the topic.
And that
of
was more about
creativity.
her
That was a memoir. That was her.
About herself.
blossoming into a butterfly, finding her womanhood.
It resonated with 12 million readers.
Of course.
So people loved it. It turned into a movie.
Fun fact, she did end up divorcing that man.
The second man?
Yeah.
She found a new... So then she was like, Eat, Pray, Love 2.
Yeah.
Well,
Get ready.
and then not only divorcing him, marrying a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Eat,
And
Pray,
that-
Love 3?
And
Look
that
out.
woman,
There's a twist.
that woman,
Look who's talking now.
get ready. That woman has since died, and now she is dating that woman's best friend, who's a man.
Eat, Pray, Love 4 is going to
Wild.
be... What a twist.
You guys, that's the tea.
Yep.
I keep up with all her tea.
She's
'cause
trying to
there's a
write
lot.
more books, this lady. if you ask
She's
me.
just living.
Yeah.
She's letting the creative flow guide her.
Sounds like to me
every step
she's
of the way.
like George R.R. Martin. She's got to start getting pen to paper
Who's
here.
George R.R. Martin?
He wrote all the Game of Thrones, and
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
of
eventually he
course.
ran out of it. It got so popular that he was like, I haven't written the end yet. And they're like, well, you better hurry up because the
'Cause the
show's
show's
coming
going.
around. Yeah. And then it got to the point where they needed an end, and he's like,
Weren't people upset with the ending of?
well, yeah, because the writers of the show were like, I guess we have to do it. So they finished it.
And they left like a Starbucks cup
Yeah,
in the final
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, they didn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
Big
there's-
magic, though.
Big
Is
magic.
what we're talking about today.
There's-
part 3.
Yeah, there's 6 parts. We are now on part 3.
Okay. Are you going to recap 1s and 2s?
No, you're gonna have
Okay,
to.
I'll go back to
listen
the pod and listen.
to our
Okay.
pod. I guess a recap would be part 1 is that like creativity, like we have hidden treasures inside of us,
You're just looking for those jewels deep
and they're inside of us, and we have to go on that journey to bring them out.
They are deep.
And part 2 is saying that like ideas arrive and ideas are things, and we can just like show up at our table, do the work, and the ideas will come to us. They don't live inside of us. It seems very
The jewels are
contradictory.
inside, but the ideas,
The
they are
ideas
abound.
float amongst, and if you don't grab onto an idea, they'll move on to someone else.
Yeah.
So I got to fight a war on 2 fronts. I got to find the jewels within and the ideas around.
Yes. Yes. That's
Life is tough.
It's hard, dude.
that that sums it up really beautifully. So now,
part 3 is permission.
It's called permission.
Oh God, what are she going to make us do this time?
Okay,
Let's find out.
let's find out. I did. London has taken copious amount of notes per usual.
I have.
I'm going to lead the discussion, and then London will
fill in any blanks.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then we'll
And then
get your
you'll
opinion throughout.
add anecdotes of
Dot
of
the
fun.
I's and
Yep.
cross the T's.
Exactly.
So Liz starts by saying that her parents grew up, the way she was raised, her parents were workers. They weren't creatives. Like
A nurse, an engineer.
But they always did what they wanted. Like her dad wanted to own a Christmas tree farm. He bought a farm, started planting trees.
Just for fun.
He wanted goats. He started a goat farm. Her mom always like was creative in the sense that she would like knit and patchwork. And
She mended.
She mended. So basically, this first little part was just her saying like, I learned that like following a career in the arts, like her parents were, if you can like pay for yourself, like
Then you can do
go
it.
do whatever you want to do.
She learned to be a rebel from her parents, she said, which is interesting because they didn't seem like it so much.
No, it didn't sound like rebellion, what they were doing. It's often what I find is like people who have, like lack of a better word, square jobs, you know, like regular jobs. When they're outside of their jobs, they want to do all this stuff, you know, like hobby stuff. And oftentimes they can parlay that into a career or maybe like bail on their square job and then they have this. But like I find when I'm off the clock, if you will, I am not doing that at all.
No, because you're living a creative life already.
I already do the thing I want to do.
Yeah,
Yep.
so like when you have time off, you're like, let me just watch
I'm
football.
like, I'll stare at the ceiling for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you just want to take a break. Yeah.
Are you finding pictures in that ceiling? though?
Oh, I wish I could say there were pictures. It's more, I'm losing myself in my own brain. But yes, no, I want to watch football. That's a great.
You need to relax.
Turn it off.
Unplug, exactly.
Yeah.
I always was envious of that, though, because I'd like to have more.
It seems like people that have their like, what did her dad do?
He was an engineer.
It is like, okay, you're off the clock and now let me do what I want to do. Whereas like, it feels like with being a creative as a career, you're never off the clock.
Well, no, because you're doing the thing like I don't begrudge. I'm not saying square job is like an insult. By the way.
No,
That's
it's
like,
a great thing. I
yeah,
gotta
like a
say.
job, having a job where it's like I'm good at this, I make a lot of money doing it, but it's not my passion. That takes like being an adult and grown up and mature in ways that I'll never, ever grasp.
Well, we're actually going to talk more about that because later in the chapter, Elizabeth talks about how like she never wanted writing to be what, like, it wasn't like, I have to be successful at writing. Like, there's always ways to make money. This is just something she was going to do no matter what.
And also, though, going back to our family, like, because so many people I feel like we meet, and sometimes they'll say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. And Liz says, look back in your family tree. If it's not your parents that were creative, look back further and further. And ultimately, you'll find someone who was like a maker. Because being a maker went back like 40,000 years. And doing practical jobs just went back like 10,000 years.
Yeah, they said the earliest evidence of recognizable human art is 40,000 years old. The earliest evidence of human agriculture was 10,000, which means that somewhere in our collective evolutionary story, we decided it was way more important to make attractive, superfluous items than it was to learn how to regularly feed ourselves.
Hey, I'm agreeing with that.
So our ancestors, if you go far enough back, our ancestors, no matter what, were creatives.
We come from that creativity.
And even if you are someone that sits from dawn to dusk watching TV, there is still creativity inside of you. It's waiting to come out.
Well, I think like even if you're doing a job that's like just nuts and bolts or whatever, like if you're good at anything, I feel like you have to be creative to become skilled at something, even if it's like
if you work with your hands.
Yeah, but even if it's like, say you're just doing spreadsheets or something, you're better at the spreadsheets than the person next to you. That's because you figured out some way to do them better. So that's like a creative way.
Everyone wants a creative accountant, right?
Right. Or like, I mean,
Really?
say you're...
yeah, to bend the rules.
Yeah, see within the lines. Like even just like a janitor. Like, wow, you got that bathroom done real quick all of a sudden. And I don't know how the hell you did it. It's great, like one of those things.
So what you're saying is no matter what you do for work, there's creativity in it.
Yeah, like in terms of becoming skilled at something.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Or good at anything.
Yeah.
Can we quote Josh?
Quote me.
Okay.
Even the janitor is creative.
Yeah, you got to be like Michelangelo with that mop. That's what they say, right?
Yep.
But she's basically saying, like, if you want to write a book, if you want to write a song, like, you don't need permission to do it. As a human, you're already innately creative. It's redundant to say creative person. People are creative. So we have the senses for it. We have the curiosity for it. We have the thumbs for it. We have the rhythm for it. We have the language and excitement and the innate connection to divinity for it. So we're just automatically being alive. You have the right to create. It's part of our DNA.
Yes.
Sick.
Okay, cool. Basically, that whole chapter was just saying you don't need a permission slip. Just go do it.
Because you already are.
You don't even know it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just waiting. If you're not, it's just waiting inside of you to come out.
Think about everything
so
you do. There's like, I mean, even just to get out of doing something.
You got to be creative to cancel
exactly.
plans.
You have to be creative to get out of responsibility. Or you said like the person that's sitting around watching TV all day. How the hell do you do that? I'd like to know your secret.
Yeah, I do get
You
anxious.
got to be creative to do that.
That's
You
true.
gotta like know how to turn something off in your brain.
Yeah.
And another, just like to jump off of this, like our life as humans, it's all temporary. She talks about her friend gets tattoos whenever she wants.
Doesn't even know what she's going to get when she goes into the tattoo parlor. Do you have tattoos?
I do not. That's why
Okay,
I don't
neither
have
do
tattoos. I
I.
can't decide on
Right.
anything. And also, I would get sick of anything that I put on me.
Well, the whole point of like this tattoo thing, which I found very interesting, was that life is temporary, therefore our bodies are temporary. So
Yeah.
not like to put too much weight on whatever you do to it.
Oh,
I don't
hey,
know.
I like that theory.
I don't know if that's like for me with the whole tattoos, but
Ooh, I kind of feel good
everything
about things
we do
now.
is temporary. So
But the way why Liz brought that example up is because she was like, I don't tattoo myself, but I've chosen to create delightful things out of my existence because why not? It's just temporary.
Yeah.
Like looking at creativity as like, why not put out what I want and create things with the life that I have? It's gonna go away.
I like that. People
do
who
too.
are like, say you're out there, you're obese, and you've been feeling it.
Sure.
Maybe you just tell people that get in your face, like, I'm not in this vehicle very long. We go to another plane someday. This is temporary, so I might as well do what I want with it.
Yeah, if anybody's body shaming you.
Right.
Yeah, don't let them.
Yeah.
Because
It's
guess
temporary.
what?
It's
temporary.
temporary.
We're not going to be in it long.
I like to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so right. I actually love that.
Yeah,
We
do
should
whatever we
have
want.
talked about that.
yeah.
The next part was about entitlement. I highlighted a couple things that
Entitlement.
that you must possess a fierce sense of personal entitlement to cultivate a creative life. David White, the poet, says the arrogance of belonging is an absolutely vital privilege to cultivate if you wish to interact more vividly with your life.
Very deep. I really took all this as like the people that I know that do have some sense of delusion, who just are like, I am this, I will succeed at this, and so often they do.
Yeah.
Because they live in this world where they feel like they are entitled to certain things, and then it does
But
come
they're
to them.
so unlikable.
I know.
And
Well,
that's the
that's,
problem.
That's the double-edged
I know,
sword
because we
there,
always say
you're
we gotta
right.
be delusional, but
When you start out in open mics, you get a sense of where you got to keep that meter at. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a sense of realism and a little bit of to get on stage, you have to have some sort of delusion inside your body. We all have it.
We do.
That's what he's or she's saying. Excuse me, she's saying in the book.
it was a man
They.
and a female that both quoted different
Oh, I'm
things
sorry.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
that's why you got confused.
That's why I got confused. But yes, no, I'm saying like there takes in even an ounce of delusion, but having a lot of self-awareness is what makes us overcome that and like be normal people. Do you know what
now,
I'm saying?
Yeah,
no
it's
one
the
said
balance of the
delusion.
two.
London
I did,
said.
but that's what
she
I took
says
entitlement as.
Entitlement sounds douchier.
It does. It does.
Both are not good.
Well, both
Delusion
are terrible.
is like, oh, you have delusion. Like you can kind of like be like, oh, they're delusional.
Right.
It's not their fault. It's their brain. But entitlement, you're like, well, what a entitled asshole.
But she's kind of saying like the entitlement of just like if you're a singer, just being like, I'm a singer, and like maybe you're not making money as a singer, but defending yourself to the universe every day. I'm a singer. I'm a singer.
And say it loud. She wants us to yell it.
I'm a singer.
Oh, listen to that voice.
Oh, wow.
That's the climb.
When we were growing up, Chase would sing like that, like 24/7.
Wait,
I was taking singing
And
lessons.
I
had to
could
practice.
You just would
stand it.
sing like in the
All
house, like
the
I'm eating almonds.
Yes.
Like, that kind of thing?
I was practicing.
I'm awake.
No,
Like,
I wouldn't.
I know.
I was taking singing
know
lessons
you're
and I
up.
had to practice.
That's what everyone in the world who is a fan of Chase imagines living with her would be like.
It's
probably.
true.
Yeah.
London couldn't take it.
I couldn't stand the singing, and I was not kind about
because
it.
I wasn't good. Let's be clear. I was in lessons.
Well, she did get trained around the 12th grade. The voice got better, but I was out of the house by then. Like, I was like, are you kidding?
What would you say to her?
God.
Stop!
Yeah, she is so annoyed.
I was so...
And then when we lived in New York together and I had auditions and I had to practice.
Oh, even though the voice was better, it still annoyed
The voice
me.
got a little better. It's still, singing's hard.
Oh, singing's hard. Anyway,
I don't take singing classes anymore. That ship has sailed. But anyways, you're just supposed to say it out loud. Defend yourself to the universe.
We're all entitled
I'm
to
a
do
comedian.
our art.
I'm a comedian.
When did
Let's
you start
hear it.
saying that to yourself?
When did I?
Yeah.
Today.
I've never said it to myself. Oh my God. It says I'm an actor. When I actually used to like really try to be an actor, I never once said I was an actor. I was so humiliated.
Right. That's the way I felt about comedy for
It's like, oh my
years.
God, I would never say I'm an actor.
I still don't tell everyone. Like,
What's the alias?
I don't say anything. Like, I'm saying, like, I tell people who are, like, in my life, who it's, like,
But the Uber
unavoidable.
driver.
Yes, the waiter, the this or that. I even hate filling out, like, a credit card form. Or
It says, what's your profession?
Right.
yeah, what's your
Same.
occupation?
I know. I
Hate
have to
writing.
write artist.
I write
always-
production.
Oh.
I was getting coffee in Denver, and they were, what are you here for? And I said, work. Oh, what do you do? And I go, I'm a comedian.
Yeah, I hate saying it to strangers.
And I bet they go, God, she must be a terrible comedian.
Well, also because they haven't heard of you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be asking.
They
you that.
have not heard of me.
Right.
And then it's like, the Uber drivers, they go, well, good luck at your show. Thank you. Like, it's so demeaning.
Oh.
I hate it. And so, I mean, I always...
Well, according to the universe, you guys have got to start loving it.
Well,
Say it
I
loud.
basically would say, like, I'll start saying I am one when I, like, pay my... Like, when I am taxed on income.
You can already say you are.
Yeah.
Now I
you
am,
can
yeah.
say-
I mean, it is
okay,
my
okay.
job. I mean, I know that. But I'm saying, like...
What do they have when you have to go down and you like tick a box for what you do? Because usually for me they have like art or
Self-employed? I mean,
Yeah,
what are
I
you
do.
talking about? Which...
I do self-employed.
okay, so-
Entertainment. They
Yeah,
have entertainment.
okay.
Yeah.
like the categories sometimes can be complicated.
Yeah.
Entertainment makes sense.
Okay, well, we're
All
supposed
right.
to own it.
Yeah.
Oops.
But, and it's all, wait, I was going to say something else. Oh, the way you have to defend yourself to the universe. As I was reading that, I was like, it's something like always having to prove yourself as an artist, because you can have one thing happen, but then that's like not enough. You have to continually prove yourself that like you're good.
Exhausting.
Does she say that in the book?
No, that's something I
Oh, that's something you...
It's a Chase quote.
That's what I was going to say. That seems daunting. The
But
way
she
you made it
does
sound was
say,
daunting.
like, daily, every day, remind your soul. Say you will never stop. So,
No, but you're saying if you don't keep at it, you won't be that thing. You can't just be like a person who gets on stage once and be like, I'm a comic.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to continually prove yourself.
That would be delusional. If someone gets up once and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
The Uber driver.
There's a lot of those.
Guess what? They walk amongst us.
Okay, so then it goes into originality versus authenticity. People go, I don't even want to try because it's not going to be original. Everything's
already been done.
Guess what? Shakespeare took every storyline there ever is already.
Picasso stole from cave paintings.
But people are still creating, which means it's not about originality. It's about authenticity. So don't be scared about being original. You're not going to be original, but
it's about you putting your authenticity into it, which makes it original for you. And I have some trouble with this one because it is hard sometimes. You see something and are inspired, and then you're like, oh, now let me make it in a slightly different way. Like, do you guys feel that way about jokes when you hear it and someone goes on a tangent and you're like, oh, I could do that a little different and call it mine?
I mean, there are jokes where I'm like, damn, that's good. I wish I wrote that or whatever. But at the same time, there's a whole swath of people and like jokes and material that I would never even think about doing, even if like it was presented in front of me.
Because it's not authentic to you.
I think anytime I see a meme that resonates with me, I'm like, the memes are so general. Memes are like just pointing stuff out. They're like the Seinfeld.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, the wine. Yeah. And then, or whatever.
I love your Seinfeld.
But
the wine.
The wine.
But with like jokes that I write, I don't think they could be created by anyone else because they're like literal stories that happened to me.
Same.
I'm not writing like generalizations, which I think is a meme.
Now, I don't know if this is bad to say, but didn't Amy Schumer get caught?
Amy Schumer's
for stealing an entire
There's a few people that have been caught. I don't know about an entire set, but there was a moment, if you want to get in the weeds about this, where
I don't want to get on her bad side.
Well, no, I'm not gonna. This is what happened.
Yeah, this is what happened.
Okay.
She did some jokes. She was talking about these fairy tale sex positions, if you will, the angry pirate, the winking donkey, whatever the case may be, whatever they are. And she was doing...
Whatever those are. I don't know them.
Yeah. Things you hear but again, things you hear in like middle school. So they're kind of like street jokey. And like Patrice did jokes about those things at one point, and then she also did them.
And she was opening
and people
for
are
her.
like, well, yes, she knew she was in that circle. But at the end of the day, it's all street jokes anyways, so it's kind of weird that both of them did it, but I'm not defending her in any capacity.
There's a video on
She's been
YouTube.
also, her sketch show has been accused of things and everything like that. But.
They have like side-by-side comparisons of like this joke, and then 5 years later she did this joke. So if you want to research that a little more.
Good to know.
But what did that have something to do with your authenticity?
Yeah, because I think there's a difference between like copying someone 100% compared to just like taking it as inspiration and then creating your own.
No, yeah, there's parallel thought for sure.
There's, the joke I do about like, if a guy asks me out, my answer is no. I always say yes. Then another comic did a joke that had seen me that was like, oh, this girl asked me to be her bridesmaid. I said I didn't want to, but I said yes. So I think it's like you can you hear it and go, oh, I have a similar.
Because certain people will mimic my work, and some I can completely say is like they just like were using my style or whatnot.
Now Now that's interesting because it's and this is just me being a neophyte, not knowing anything about it. Do you see the stitching or something? Is it like the grain of the way that they did something that makes you go like, that's mine?
Or sometimes it'll just be like the overall concept. Like maybe I've crocheted something similar to it before. Whereas other times it only irks me when it is the exact thing. Same colors, same design, same exact thing.
Yeah, I was like wondering if the method, you're like, they're stealing my tricks.
Method doesn't bother me. The exact like idea bothers me.
Of course that bothers you.
Yeah.
See, for me, the opposite is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because like, I don't think Now, if somebody's stolen it, I don't think somebody could steal one of my jokes verbatim without being a complete hack thief. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have to deliberately do it. Because I don't know that, I mean, on stage, people don't usually talk the way that I do. So if they were talking the way that I spoke, or, like, doing their act the same way that I do mine, like, in the same way that I speak,
right,
then I would be more pissed about that than the words. I think.
They're trying to truly become Josh Potter.
Yeah, I think that would be weirder.
Impossible.
Well, that's called
people do that,
not
though.
being authentic.
Yeah, that's when people start in open mics, oftentimes they're doing their favorite comedian.
Yeah.
They're writing jokes and then saying them the way that they've been listening to their favorite comedian.
That's
like
how I was
Dave
trained.
Attell, or there's like a bunch of... Now we're getting a lot of Taylor Tomlinsons out there in the ladies, I'm noticing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like it is, though, easier when you're starting out to look at someone like that and try to do it, and then you grow into your own style.
Well, this isn't going to be relatable to, I don't know anyone if this would be relatable to, but when Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was on the air, okay, relatable
Heard
to
of
the
it.
booth. Okay. I would, memorize the lines and then videotape it and recreate the episodes.
Before TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, this was on a camera.
London would film it for me. I'd be dressed as like Dylan, and then I'd have to switch outfits and be Mr. Mosby, and then switch outfits and be. Anyways,
It was a production.
Do you have these?
Yes.
Okay, you need to make stitches. You have TikToks for days. Go
Yes.
Okay.
They are ridiculous.
But I truly was just copying their performances.
Mm-hmm.
And Ashley Tisdale, who played Maddie Fitzpatrick, is who I was always like, well, I'm a good actor because I just copy Ashley Tisdale. And then I would be like auditioning and doing stuff as, like, I'd be acting as if I was Ashley Tisdale.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm being my own person now.
I am authentic.
Or they didn't know that I was just mimicking Ashley Tisdale.
When you go out for roles recently?
I think that's like that's my training in acting is Ashley
That's
Tisdale.
fine. I mean,
Now she's trying to be Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, though. Like, I mean, obviously we have like our where we imposter syndrome or whatever. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm just doing David Spade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But see, this is the difference. It's coming out of your instrument.
Right.
So no matter what, it's different.
It's
in
still
my
gonna
brain,
be
I'm
original.
like, yeah.
But no one else knows that.
Right.
Nobody else knew I was doing an Ashley Tisdale impression.
Ashley Tisdale, by the way, pre-nose job
Lover?
was the best. I don't know why she got the nose job.
I didn't know she got
I didn't know
one.
she got
It
one.
was subtle
I
to
don't-
me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever makes you happy, Ashley. But I liked it. You and Ashley Simpson.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley Simpson. I was stalking her last night.
Oh, really?
And
What's
her
she up
sister.
to?
Clothing, shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The huge.
The huge. This next section, actually, I really love about motives because she says we don't need to save the world.
Yeah, she says, you don't have
We
to
don't
make
have
art to try to help someone.
Oh, I wasn't worried about that one.
Oh, me too. I was like, oh, look, I want to make a difference.
Right.
I want to I'm going to make people
Well,
laugh.
I can see London because I mean, like, you're doing things that are like the children in the hospital got to look outside
Exactly.
today and see London's crochet and
I love making people
in the hospital
smile.
square. No, I get that. I mean, for me, I don't fucking care about changing the world.
Oh, good. You don't
You
need
don't
this
think
chapter.
that laughter is the best cure?
I don't care about what they. I want them to laugh and have a good time. I said this. My therapist actually goes like, "Well, don't you get joy out of making others like feel good and stuff like that?" I go, "I want them to laugh because that means I'm doing well, but that's for me."
That's what she says.
That's the point.
That's the point. Liz says this is all
About
for you.
us.
It's what you want to do. You're doing this because you can and you like it. Instead, I'm like, oh, what's my purpose in life? My purpose, I can help people by doing this and by telling jokes. And it's just
not
like,
a good purpose,
nobody
apparently.
wants you to help them. Nobody
just
wants
here to
it.
live.
Just help yourself. Write about stuff because you need the help and you need to heal. And then it might help someone.
But I feel like what you do actually does that though. Like where you're like, it's like we crocheted a giant billboard and it saved, cancer people's lives or something. I mean, I
don't
know.
think there was cancer people that got saved.
But I get your point.
You know, I'm just making generalities.
There's a purpose to this.
It's bringing awareness to something.
Right.
It's,
but
for charities.
What this is telling me, though, is that the purpose doesn't need to be the root of the creation. As long as it's making me feel good, then it will potentially help others feel good. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, that's fine too.
I don't care. I mean, inherently, people will feel good inherently from laughing, obviously, but it's like not really what I don't really want them to leave there being like, I feel great. I don't really care.
You do it because you love it.
Of course. And laughing is the result of being successful at it.
Yep.
So if it wasn't, though, like say I was a musician and I made like brooding music.
Sure.
Like I so wish I could. No, I
if
would.
If you want to, you can.
I know, right? That's the whole lesson here. Maybe I don't really want to.
Don't stare at the
I would
ceiling.
say like people would be sitting there like, I don't know. They wouldn't be laughing or having any sort of, and maybe I'm making some of their lives worse. I don't know. You know what I mean?
No. What are you getting at?
I'm just saying like, I would be, it's all, performing is self-indulgent for me. It's not.
Got it.
It's not for others, which is,
no.
We all can learn from you today.
We can all learn from you.
Yeah.
This is for you. You're making art for you, not for anyone else. The result of other people being helped by it or enjoying it is not your problem.
No, it's cool. It helps you make a living, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, the next chapter is on schooling. And now London and I both majored in the arts.
Which I agree with Liz here.
Liz
she
says
you don't need
this
to.
This is not necessary.
And I agree.
I agree. You didn't major in the arts.
No, I majored in communications. I didn't graduate, and I had a job in mass media, or like, in a form of media before I was even out of school. So.
Well, you're very similar to a lot of Nobel Peace Prize winners. Because they, too, didn't end up graduating school. And they still went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
None of them had went to college for
degrees.
the arts.
What?
Yep. And some didn't even finish high school. No. Not these that she's talking about.
12 North American writers have won the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature since 1901. Not one of them had an MFA. 4 of them never even got past high school.
Bachelors?
They had bachelors.
MFA.
See, I didn't have none of that. Oh, MFA's bachelor's?
No, MFA is
that's
master's.
grad school. Right.
But what she's saying is like,
it's not necessary.
She gets going to school if you want to be a lawyer and you want to, like, she wants her dentist to have schooling.
Yes.
But the arts is not a profession. There is no job security and never will be. So you can go and pay and be in debt to maybe get a job after. But this isn't like going to school.
No, I wish I never went because I would have so much more money.
I agree.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I even got a scholarship to college and somehow came out with student debt. So,
and I didn't even get laid in college.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? Debt is the last thing any artist needs. And when you go to school for the arts, it's a gamble. And artists in nature are gamblers in a way because we're like, I'm going to put all my time and effort into this project, and it may or may not be received well.
Oh, boy, do I love gambling.
So many artists
are gamblers in a way.
Did you write that part, or was that her?
This is her.
She said something before that. You said something that was interesting about the debt.
Debt. She says that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's more that you are inherently going to experience having debt, so you might as well not pile more on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she says that's the last thing you need as an artist is more debt.
If you're a creative person, you don't need to go into it feeling that way. And in college, it was great to study. I studied dance, and in some ways, yes, I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. There's this one thing called the non-complain bracelet that I learned. And anytime you complain, you switch this bracelet from one hand to the next, and it makes you aware of your thoughts and when you're complaining and tries to, like, stop you from doing that. I did not need to go to college to learn that.
I was going to say, that's not something.
That's the biggest takeaway from my...
What?
That was the biggest takeaway from college?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you learned some things about dance that you hadn't.
Oh, please.
Yeah, no.
London's
like
the best dancer.
No, I'm not saying like in terms of
Didn't need
practical senses, but like in dance theory, or like did it open your mind up to different types of dance or anything like that?
No, not Not really. I learned to visualize, like when you brush your leg up, that you're like swinging like a pendulum.
Yeah, not necessary.
Not.
These are all things a couple YouTube videos.
Yeah.
That's what she says. Like, if you want to learn something, the library has so many books. And
I'm not here to say don't go to college. I am.
Don't go.
Well, no, go to college if you want to be a doctor.
Right.
But for the arts, Liz says, go live and learn. Like, go do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because getting into massive debt in order to become a creator then can make a stress and a burden out of something that should only have ever been a joy and a release. So instead, she says, instead of taking loans out for the arts, maybe push yourself deeper into the world to explore more bravely. Go more deeply and bravely inward. Take an honest inventory of the education you already have, the years you've lived, the trials you have endured, and the skills you have learned along the way. She just basically is like,
find those jewels.
Go live your life, and you're going to learn so much about your art, and that's the best way to learn. And to be an artist is to live.
I think you got to live poor.
That helps sometimes too. I find I'm much more like aware of the value of $1 since I've lived poor.
Do you think that people that have trust funds can't be artists?
No, I'm not going to say that necessarily, but I'm saying like there is something you learn about yourself when you get through a period of poverty.
I mean, agreed.
I don't know that I have not learned the value of $1. I will say that because it keeps changing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Same.
Because it seems like the more money I make,
the less
things just keep getting more. They're like, no, now apples cost $7 million, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Eggs are $4,000 now. Yeah. So sorry.
Gas? Don't get me started.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know the value of $1, but I do know that like I got through from here to here in my life. I got by with this much, and I did all that. So like, it won't hopefully ever be that bad again. You know?
Are you saying it made you a better artist?
I think it just made me just more.
You've lived life.
Yeah, no, I just more like am less scared of things because
you know you can handle whatever comes your way.
Well, I already handled that.
This is kind of
right.
But then, so should artists go to school and be in debt so that they can experience poverty?
Well, my point was that you're going to be in debt and experience poverty when you're starting out, regardless. Yeah. So you might as well not heap more onto it.
Got it.
Exactly.
But the idea of you're not going to have any debt is kind of stupid because, like,
yeah,
if you're starting out and you're not going to start out of the gate like crushing it.
Where were you at in that time in your life? What were you doing?
Like radio. I thought I was killing it too. I was like,
you were.
Well, I was like, there's no really anywhere to go from here in terms of that job, and unless they like gave me a morning show or something, and I wasn't going to make the kind of money that I thought I was going to make. It was all just going away, so I had to like recalibrate. And when I like jumped into comedy full time, I was like, well, I only made this much money doing like regular jobs. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I can come up with that much money doing the road or whatever. So I figured it was like a lot easier than I was making it out to be. It's like I experienced living life through my entire 20s making like $22,000 a year. I can make more than, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to make more than that just by like
pursuing comedy,
falling ass backwards into things. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
It's a good lesson.
Do you have a like, because Liz talks about instead of like school or whatever, like she just found a community of a few writers that like twice a month they'd get together, order pizza, and work on their novels together. And she said that's kind of something like...
It's a free school.
It's free
like people
school.
to hold you accountable, check in.
Do you have any sort of like writing groups?
No.
Josh.
I wish
I didn't think you did.
No
wish
writing groups?
I wish I kind of had more...
No accountability coach?
No. No. I'm my own...
I never have either.
I don't have anything like that. No, I mean, I wish I had more like collaborative sort of things, but I don't really.
I feel like some people, it helps them, and some people do better work when they are on their own and can just be in their thoughts and get stuff done. But if you don't have that kind of like determination to do it on your own, it is helpful to have other people kind of making sure that the deadlines get done and things move forward.
I really liked being a part of other people's shows coming up. Because then, you get little tasks within the show and you get to shine in your little moments and find your little place here and there, and you get to enhance other people's things as well. So that's kind of collaborative. But outside of that, I mean, when it comes to comedy, it's very much a solo sport. So sometimes people give you tags or whatever, but...
Like on social media?
No, like other comics.
No,
I mean,
like
after a tag.
After a show...
A pat on the back?
No.
Like a line or like
hey, after
maybe
this
you should try
joke,
this.
you should say, you up?
Something like that.
That's a tag?
That's a
Yeah.
Oh, I've
very
never heard
frivolous
this
example.
lingo.
I tried it and it gets a big laugh now.
Or it's like a different line. Is that really something that like you gave an actual tag? Just now?
Someone, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't making fun of it.
Someone was like, oh, after this line about the detective texting you, you should say... I didn't know detectives were like, you up? And I guess you have to hear it in the context, but it's gotten a laugh.
Do you have to be...
I didn't expect it to kill in this right now. You're just like, yada, 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 you up. We're all like...
Trust me, it's funny.
Do you have to be a comedian to give a comedian a tag?
It's generally more...
Is it bad if me as an audience member just goes up and gives a little feedback?
Falls on deaf ears when it comes from a guy who just watched a couple shows and is like, you know what would really be funny if you said...
But listen, even that guy has creativity inside of him, and everybody can be an artist.
And only in comedy do the audience members have the balls to suggest that you should do your art form the way that they think.
want you.
Yeah.
Right. But what if I use the term tag when I go up to them?
Yeah,
Will they
hey,
take
I have
me
a
with
tag for
I have
you?
a little tag for you.
Yeah.
I feel like the lingo for comedy nerds is becoming a little more free flow. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like they're already saying
Okay,
this.
it's a special club.
No, but
I won't try to get in.
No, I like that you are like, I don't give a shit about what you guys, your words and your sorcery. I like that.
I won't do it unless I have a good one.
I see.
That's all I'm saying.
I feel like you would never go up to someone.
Probably not. I'm just
You
leaving
would do
the
it to
door
me.
open.
I would love you to give me any tag you want.
No, yeah, me too, please. You
can give it to us.
I'll
you can
bring
knock
my
on
notebook.
the writer's room all the time.
All right.
Don't
can't
go
wait.
up to Taylor Tomlinson and give her a tag.
No, I hear she's doing great.
Okay,
Liz so she had a club.
She talks about she would get rejection letter after rejection letter.
Oh,
and
this
she
is
would,
good.
You want to say it?
Yeah, she'd get all these rejection letters. But in her family, people live long. Grandparents to 102. So she said she has a lot of life left. This doesn't have to come right away. So whenever she'd get a rejection letter, the same day, she'd send in a proposal and send someone else out something, just waiting for that next rejection or success
She's like,
to come.
honey, I'm going to be living till 110. People aren't even born that are going to be rejecting me. She just like
kept it going.
She's just like, whatever. I have so long to get rejected.
Which I
May
think
I
is
say,
great.
I used to be that way. I used to be very brash, and I didn't really care if I got a no. And it was to my benefit when I was very young. As I age, I'm getting more panicky about things.
You got to go back
It's
to
going the
other
other way around. Like you think you would grow and become more...
Well, no, you know what? You're right. She was in her 20s.
Yep.
The older you get, it is like
The more
time's running
worried you
out.
get.
Yeah.
it's starting to feel like, I mean, all of a sudden I woke up and I'm like, my 30s are almost over. I've spent all of them in LA. I've made progress in my
They're
life.
not almost over.
No.
My 30s are.
Not yours. You've got years.
They'll go forever.
Years? I have like 2.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Years.
I lost that many in COVID. You know?
Wait,
So
are you 38?
I will be 38 soon.
That's
You
right. You're
have 2
37.
years
You've got
and
3.
months.
He's got 3 years. Okay, go on.
Anyways.
No, but I just...
Fine, they're almost over.
Fine.
Fine.
They're almost. You're just aging us. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
No, I just find that as I age, I'm a little more freaked out about how old I am. And where I am in my... Whereas
not
before I'm like, I've got
collecting-
my whole life to do this. I'm not going anywhere. This is an odyssey. It's not a sprint.
Well, because you don't think you'll live till 110 like Liz does.
I actually would prefer I didn't. That means I have to make this last 70-something more years. I don't want to do
Are
that.
there any comedians?
I'd rather make it short, you know? Like, if you told me I only have 20 years left, I'm like, thank God, I can make this go 20 more years. 70?
Yeah.
Get out of town. How am I supposed to keep this going? That's a long time.
I know. See, I think Liz was a little like, I've got all the time in the world. And it does get a little scarier the older you get and you're still not making the millions from your art. You're going, oh.
Well, because you wonder, like, okay, there is a window here. And I got to get...
window.
I got to get through that window and make an X amount of money so that I can just keep going so that I can go through the waning portions of
Technically, Liz would say there's no window.
Yeah.
I would hope not. I hope you're right there, Liz.
But society says there's a window. Society says there's a window.
I'm just looking at the natural progression of my people that I look up to.
Yeah.
And other, I mean.
It's rare that someone breaks in their 60s.
Not only that, it's rare that they stay
relevant
at the peak of their relevancy when that. So naturally, there will be a waning period, no matter what your peak is. You're hoping that your peak is so high that waning period is just kind of a graceful,
just easy
decline. But say you never get up into that area, and you're just kind of like, well, I had a few good years there. What does that look like? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, okay, just to be Liz here.
Yes, please.
I'm just going to channel her.
Yeah, channel Liz.
I think what she would say is like, this isn't about success. You're going into a creative life because you love to be creative, and you can be creative your whole life. It doesn't matter when you peak, if you peak.
Exactly.
It's just doing it for fun, and that's kind of, she talks about like, Eat, Pray, Love became successful on accident.
Mm-hmm.
She had 6 books that weren't even
and she just
did.
She always did the work because she's a writer and this contract is with the universe. And she will work endless jobs if she has to just continue writing. So
no, Liz is not wrong. And I used to, in my brain, picture these things and go, yeah, that's just the way it is. You're an artist. There's going to be ups and downs, yada, yada, yada. But then when you start getting going, it's just a change. My brain has I have to remind myself these things. So
yes, we have to be reminded that it's not about the views and the money, and we're going to be okay regardless. We're just exploring what's inside of us and getting to share it.
Yes.
This is the advice they say when you get down. Quit your complaining.
No,
it's not
but this isn't just they. This is what Werner Herzog said.
Thank you.
Werner Herzog.
He said
the
this.
filmmaker?
Take it away. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's not the world's fault you want to be an artist. Get back to work.
No, London, you butchered it.
What?
It's so much longer than that.
I just wrote it verbatim in my notes.
No, he says, quit your complaining. It's not the world's fault that you wanted to be an artist. It's not the world's job to enjoy the films you make. And it's certainly not the world's obligation to pay for your dreams. Nobody wants to hear it. Steal a camera if you must, but stop whining and get back to work. That's the full quote.
I like the steal the camera part.
Me too. I like that part.
That's
good.
good.
Okay, I'm glad I
don't
said
like
it.
this whole I wouldn't be saying the world.
Not you. I don't think you
I'm
do
more
this.
a self-loathing guy, Werner.
Someone wrote to Warner being like, "Oh, it's so hard.
Sad.
There's no money in it," and blah blah.
Right,
and
right.
Stop it.
Why won't they look out for me like that? Kind of thing.
If you want to make art, and stop complaining. This is a free choice. Nobody is forcing you to do this.
No, my complaints are from within, about within.
And then when you have those, you switch the bracelet.
Gots to.
From one side to the other.
I'm going to start doing that.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
I'll be like, oh God, put it back.
Yeah, all day. You just
because with complaining, Liz says inspiration, as we know, is all around us. And if you're complaining and you're like, oh, boo hoo, this is so hard, inspiration will be like, oh, okay,
it's scared.
I'm not gonna be around if you don't want me to be. Like it leaves when you complain.
Yeah.
It gives you more ideas if you don't complain. Like if you're just grateful. Then inspiration will give you enough ideas for 10 lifetimes.
Oh my Lord.
That's what Liz says.
We just have to
10 lifetimes.
be present.
Be grateful and excited that she goes, where was it that I highlighted this? She said,
I like your soft reading voice. I feel like I want you to read me something.
I'll read it right now. You would think these people had been sentenced to their vocations by an evil dictator rather than having chosen their work with a free will and an open heart. So we have to remember when we start getting like, oh God, this torturous life of a creative, we chose it. It's free will. Yeah. We aren't living in in countries like North Korea where we could literally be killed.
She says that's when it's, a life or death. The woman who is living in Afghanistan and has this poetry that she wants to share and, could possibly be killed for sharing it. We're fine. Most people, that's not the circumstance. And
we're doing it for fun. So let's just
aren't we lucky?
Be happy
that
that we can.
Sounds so rock and roll though to have poetry that the government doesn't want you to. God.
It does sound rock and roll.
That makes me feel like I'm like
roll, baby.
Here I am. I'm in America and my art's like whatever. We're all we could do whatever we want.
Yeah.
It's true. You're right. It's
that
like,
is pretty fun.
Everyone can hear.
Oh, sure. Yeah. God, give me some oppression.
I need some rock and roll, baby.
When they squeeze a rock, a diamond forms, right? Or something like that?
Yeah. Rock and roll.
The next thing is talking about like some people are like, aren't some people just more talented than the next? And like, yes, you say everyone can be creative, but aren't some people just better? And and Elizabeth says, oh, she doesn't have time for that. High art, low art, whatever, just do it. And it doesn't matter. Some people are better, but just do it. People will pigeonhole you. They will judge your work. They'll put you in a box. Just keep doing your thing.
It doesn't matter what the critics say.
God,
I'd love to be put in a box.
Is that sexual?
Why?
No.
Why do you want to be in a box?
I just would like to know what people thought of me. I don't know. It's like,
fantasy.
I don't know where the hell I am.
There's that meme going around. You want to be in like a white box for a year.
What?
If you stay in a white box, no phone, no nothing for like a year.
Yeah.
And then you get paid $30 million. Would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Wait, well, do you get water?
I don't know. There's not.
You just don't have your phone. You have to live in a box.
Right. I don't even know if there's bathrooms.
I basically do that. I just do that with a phone now.
He called it Jail July.
Yeah. My apartment's a box.
Yeah.
It's a bigger box than that, but I mean, I'd do it.
I would 100%. I would be like, good, I need some alone time.
Yeah. I would probably think a lot of things.
Oh, we would be so creative in there.
Yeah, lots of memoirs.
Could I write things down?
You're right. Put me in a box.
$30 million?
Please.
Shit. Oh, my Lord. You thought it was sexual.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I mean, why else would you want to go in?
You know, like the people that pop out of a cake. Surprise. Right. I didn't know what that was. Okay, so.
The people that pop out of the cake.
What year were you talking about?
I don't know.
I haven't seen a cake lady.
I know, me neither.
Since World War II.
I feel like I saw it in an episode of Full House.
I know. I think I saw one in Friends.
30, 40 years ago. I mean.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Okay, our world won't end because of a bad review. It's just...
I don't know what chapter you're on. London, let me take it from here.
I was changing the subject back.
Okay, so... Elizabeth talks about how Eat, Pray, Love blew up. We
know that.
Sure,
and she got letters.
Clearly.
She got letters from people saying that they detest her, they hate everything about her, and then she also got letters from people saying, "You're my hero. I love you so much." And she was like, "Had I been writing for other people, had I been writing this book to help people,
never would have happened.
How could I have when I had these like everybody has an opinion?" She had to write it just for what she needed to say for herself. And then the outcome, like, you're in control of the work. You are not in control of the response. And we already talked about that. But for some reason...
Yeah, have people... So she talks about how, like, someone read her book and then had this totally other version of what it actually meant. Has anyone ever come up to you guys after a show and, like, said that one of your jokes was, like, so funny it wasn't even anything you remember saying?
No, but did you with your art? I feel like art is more subjective.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but
no one's really misinterpreted my art.
No?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
You take it or you leave it. there are people who have like, you know, put the onus of like thinking that you're saying something like seriously or whatever. That kind of thing sucks. You know, when it's like I don't hate gay people.
Right,
you know what I mean?
it's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Let's relax.
Yeah.
To that regard.
Right.
Liz says, this work is non-essential. Okay, so stop.
Not according to the government during COVID-19.
Stop. I think it was according to the government. Yeah. Stop taking it so seriously. The Beatles were just a band. That was John Lennon.
John Lennon's
John
quote.
Lennon said, "We're just a band."
Yeah.
So Liz doesn't get discouraged that her work is useless because it is.
Yeah. What we're doing is pointless.
John Lennon, not a great example to use as a guy. The consequence of the fans.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Was he saying we're just a band as he was like,
I swear I did something.
What's your John Lennon joke? You have a joke about him.
it's not you don't want to hear it here.
No?
Yes, we do. It's about his assassination.
Oh, that's
Unless you don't want it burned.
Okay, keep it
I mean, I don't
stage.
even, honestly, I just remembered that joke recently. I haven't said that joke in forever, but it's about how John Lennon is a scumbag.
Oh. Wow.
And how it's kind of for the best for John Lennon that he got shot in the head.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You are so
But guess what?
controversial.
It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
It's just a joke.
Well, if he had lived, he would be canceled to the moon at this point. Yeah, Rob's nodding his head.
Wow.
He'd be by the way of Bill Cosby.
Oh, no.
Do you
He'd
think?
be right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't hear that
He
about
wrote
him.
in books about how he used to beat his wife, and he used
that right?
His son wrote a book about how his dad was abusive and everything.
Well, in this book, it's very light. It's just a band.
Yeah.
Just
It's
a
just a
band.
band.
Yikes. Okay. Okay. That's the joke I wanted told, so that's good. Thank you. It's a good joke.
I said, we don't need to say it. And you're like, no. What was it about? Do tell.
Well, when you say it on stage, it gets laughs. So
We got a laugh here.
I have a
it did. So basically, all Liz is saying is her work being useless, it just makes her want to play even more.
I agree. If we don't have the pressure, we're just making it. We're not going to die over it. Let's just do it.
No, of course. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, everything
Creativity isn't a necessity. It's just the frosting. Creativity is a wild and unexpected bonus from the universe. So we're lucky enough to have this life and freedom where we're from that we can create, and why not?
We're just tying this chapter up in a pretty little bow right now. We got some wrapping paper. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of that John Lennon joke, though, a woman one time hissed at me in the crowd.
What do you mean?
Literally hear
Wait.
hiss?
Yes, like
For real?
Hiss. I was like, I can't believe I'm hearing hisses right now. I was like, are we in this
Was
like
she-
1800s?
I've
What are we-
never heard a hiss.
The Beatles had a lot of
was-
fans, so I bet she was.
This was a crowd. Michael Ian Black canceled his shows, and he was sick, and I happened to be in that city, and the club's like, can you come fill in? And I walked in there like it was my crowd. Like I was the one who sold all those tickets. I walked in there, and they were like expecting I Love the 80s, and I told my jokes as I do, and boy, oh boy, did they hate me. I even have it on video. I made it a promo video. There was a woman who reported me to the manager. I think the woman who hissed. As like, she was like, I need to what is it, like a mandatory reporter? Like of somebody who's going to be violent or something like that. She was like, she thought I was like going to be like a shooter or something because I was saying things that like on stage that like she just found disturbing.
She's pigeonholing you.
She pigeonholed.
Yeah.
And she was like, that man is not right. It's like, I have audio of this woman saying these things to the manager.
And I bet it did it just go?
Actually, it helped me sell more tickets.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Those kind of things are special.
Those
That
are
is
fun.
special.
That's fun. But if you were by chance hurt by that, Liz says, yes, art and failure, whatever, it might bruise your ego, but nations do not depend upon your precious ego. Like the worst thing that can happen as an artist is you fail and your ego gets hurt. But you're not assassinating.
Yeah, you're not.
I
making
murder
it
my
so the
ego
world
all
can.
the time, and I love
Good.
I love killing my ego as much as possible.
Good.
To
I
the
do
point where it's like
too.
someone might need to come along and do some CPR.
Good. We shouldn't have an ego.
Too much ego death. Now it's like we got to do mouth to mouth on the ego.
Tom Waits. Do you know who that is?
Of course.
Okay.
You do?
You sound like him today.
Oh.
You don't sound, that was me.
He's a musician.
Oh, thank you.
Hey. Hisses everywhere I go.
I don't know how he sounds, so I don't know if it was a compliment or not.
Like, hey,
Oh, it's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the song? Oh, no, sorry.
That's the climb. Does he sing that one?
Oh my gosh. Let's see what I mean here.
That was a bit. Okay.
Are you having PTSD
Yes.
from waking up at...
But I would be singing more like Burn the Bridge, Bet the Store.
Over.
This is more musical
and
theater.
over
Musical
and
theater.
over.
you know what I sing often around my house?
What?
No one lives with me, though. I sing the national anthem like every day.
Just to get the day going?
Yeah, because I started
true
doing it
American.
on Twitch. I'll play sports, and to start the sports, I sing the national anthem.
Oh.
And I started really enjoying it. So it comes up on my shuffle.
That is so interesting.
It's enjoyable and adorable because
And I do
you live
different
alone.
I do different versions of it too. I do like a country version.
What do you
like
mean? Can you give us the country version?
Well, yeah, you just oh say can you see like that, and then you do I can do Whitney Houston. Or
What's
like,
Whitney's?
Whitney Houston is just more grandiose.
It's a big deal to try to do Whitney.
Yeah.
Well, I just use her as an example of like a diva, songstress.
Let's hear
whatever.
it.
I can't. I'm sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. You got to do your vocal warm-ups
Yeah,
first.
and then there's all kinds of different styles of national anthems.
Fergie.
Your birthday show, or someone's birthday, Sarah's birthday, you sang Happy Birthday to the tune of the national anthem.
Yes,
Ah.
that's
That was
electric.
fun.
If you're gonna sing Happy Birthday to your friends, get rid of that old stupid song, the version that it is, and sing just Happy Birthday to you to the tune of the national anthem, and it is electric.
Let's give it
every
a
time.
go.
No.
We're
all singing
how
it
does
in our
it even
head.
start?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's much longer than I remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
And sometimes I
good.
get lost. I'm like,
Right.
the Rockets. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But it is, when that comes around
Fun.
and you have a whole crowd of people.
If you ever own a restaurant,
Oh, have the
that
staff
should
do
be
that.
the staff.
Yeah. Because it's not
That's so
copywritten
long, too.
anymore, but that's fun.
No, it's not copywritten in any way.
Yeah.
Well,
Either
back
is Happy birthday.
to Tom Waits.
Yeah. We're
He
pretty much
says-
almost done
he
here,
says
though.
that, being a creative is just intracranial jewelry
Oh,
for
yeah,
your
yeah.
insides.
That was a fun name.
But once he had kids, he used to take work very seriously, his art and music seriously. And then once he had kids, he saw that
They were just creating all the time.
always, they never were like, oh no, I'm going to run out of ideas. Like, never. It just always was, inspiration was always coming to them. And when he learned from his kids to be like way less serious with his music, and like if a song wants to come to him, he'll let it. If he's in the studio and it's taking too long, he's like, sorry, dude, go to Leonard Cohen. Like, I don't
to
have
the
time
next
for
one.
this.
Yeah, he probably did say go to Leonard Cohen.
He did.
I want to do that too because, like I was saying before, when I was like 16 and I started in radio, I was just writing everything. I was trying things. I was like fearless in all the. That's how I got hired because I was just like fearless about everything that I was doing, and I wish I could like recapture that, or I need to like. Figure
I was
out how
too
to,
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because the pressure isn't there yet.
No, because you're like, I'm not doing this anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And once people are watching, you get a little more like, oh no, now it has to be.
or once you do something that's great that
And you
people
have to
consider
start.
good, and you're like, oh, I got to do this again.
It gets a little harder.
Yeah.
But this whole chapter, in summary, she's just like, art is absolutely meaningless.
It's true.
It is.
However, it's deeply meaningful.
Meaningful.
So it's a paradox. Is that
We
what it's
say it matters, it doesn't matter. It matters, it doesn't matter.
It does, but the truth is, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So this whole like section, I think, is saying like you don't need a permission slip. It doesn't need to be grandiose. Do
Make
it for
whatever you
yourself.
want.
Do it because you like it, and stop with the whole like, are people going to like it? Are they going to like me? Are they going to hate me? Am I a failure? Can I make money doing this? Just get out of your head and be grateful that you can be creative.
Mm-hmm. And our vehicles are temporary.
And get tattoos.
Yeah.
That's basically what she said.
Don't go to school. Get tattoos.
Yeah, that's what we learned.
You're going to die.
Yeah.
So make art while you can.
That's really what that thing said to me. It was like,
yeah.
That's what we're here
eat
for.
food and gain weight.
And pray.
And then love.
That was a good jump out of boxes.
Yeah, there's a lot of lessons in this one. So I hope someone got something. But the purpose of this was not to have a purpose. We're just here because we want to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Josh, what did you really take away anything from this chapter?
I wish I could keep my 16-year-old self, inside of me more. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's when you felt the most free, the most playful.
Yeah, I was fearless about things. I was just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. And also, it's not that I had a sense of entitlement, but there was a delusion there where it's like, I can do this.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beauty in the beginner.
Yeah. And even when people were like, no, you can't, I was like, watch me.
It's so interesting. It's like that's what we have to get back to. So that's, I think, what this chapter is saying.
And if you learned anything out there, I hope it's to sing happy birthday to the theme of the national anthem as opposed to the boring old way.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Can I plug something?
Yes, please.
Plug it.
Okay.
Uh-oh, look at she has to get something out.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I have merchandise.
Oh,
Whoa.
Whoa.
This is just my name, Chase O'Donnell, on a shirt. Josh, I got this for you.
Oh my God, I was going to buy one.
It's a size medium.
Thank you. I'm going to wear this on my
Let me know if
next
it fits.
podcast.
And I'm selling that on my website, chaseodonnell.com, so please check it out. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Check it out.
And jet ski. You're also wearing jet skis
And
merch. She's a funny comedian.
There you go.
Check her out.
Here it is.
And then
I'm getting merch too soon. Keep your eyes peeled.
Hey.
joshpotter.com.
Nope.
No. What is it?
It's complicated.
All right.
It's complicated.
JoshPotterMerch.com.
Okay, sure.
That's not too hard.
That's not too
Yeah, I
hard.
guess it wasn't that bad.
London, do you have anything to plug?
I'm getting married on Saturday.
Oh, boy. I thought it happened this past Saturday. I don't know.
Nope.
You were in Denver, though.
Yeah, I wasn't there if it
Yeah,
happened.
Chase wasn't at my wedding, so we're having another.
I have like a time gap. Congratulations.
Thank you. So after this, I better have something real to plug because it's been taking up way too much of my time.
Well, in the meantime, please subscribe to this channel and review. And we love the comments. And thank you for everyone that's messaged us because it's so sweet. Thank you for listening.
And thank you, Josh.
And Josh Potter,
thank
what
you.
a
I
legend.
love hearing or learning like new things about my brain and how it should work.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. See you next time. Bye.
See ya.